Welcome to the Get Trauma Informed podcast, dedicated to unraveling the complexities of trauma, its pervasive impact, and the journey towards holistic recovery and realignment. If your radiance has ever felt muted, like I and thousands of others, you're in the right place to reignite your inner light. I'm your host, Wellness Coach Liz Blanding, and this is the Get Trauma Informed podcast. There are children who grow up with toys, snacks, and bedtime stories. And there are children who grow up learning how to read the room. Children who learn how to navigate unpredictable adults. Children who learn how to take care of feelings that do not belong to them. Those children do not get to be children for long. And I was one of them. Welcome back to the Get Trauma Informed podcast. I'm your host, peer-to-peer wellness coach Liz Blanding. Today, I want to take us deeper into what it means to grow up in a home where chaos was normal and emotional safety was rare. This is a conversation about shame, alcoholism, and how childhood environments shape our adult relationships. I grew up in a home where alcoholism was present. And when alcohol is in the home, unpredictability becomes a part of the atmosphere. The adults you depend on can change from moment to moment. One moment they are loving, the next moment they are distant or angry or disconnected. As a child, I did not understand addiction, but I understood instability. I understood stress. I understood walking on eggshells, and I understood how to make myself smaller to keep the peace. I also grew up being mocked by my family members because of my weight. At the time, I did not know the damage that those words were doing to my identity. When people who are supposed to love you speak words that tear you down, those words become the foundation of how you see yourself. I began to believe that I was not good enough. I believed that something was wrong with me. I believed that my worth depended on how much I could serve, help, please, or shrink myself. That shame followed me into adulthood. It became the silent voice that told me to settle for less, the voice that told me not to speak up, the voice that convinced me that my emotional mistreatment was normal. I did not know that that little girl who was teased, mocked, and overlooked was shaping the adult who I became. Growing up in chaos changes everything. Children who grow up around addiction and dysfunction often experience what psychologists call parentification. This happens when the child becomes the emotional caretaker of the adult. You start learning how to read moods, how to avoid triggering anger, how to keep the peace, how to hide your emotions and your feelings, how to become responsible for the things you did not cause. This experience creates patterns that show up in adult relationships. You may find yourself attracting emotional, unavailable partners, staying in unhealthy relationships longer than you should, ignoring red flags, believing that chaos is normal, becoming overly responsible, becoming a chronic people pleaser, struggling to trust your own worth. And then there is shame. Shame tells you that you are the problem. Shame convinces you that you must learn and earn love. Shame teaches you to see yourself through the eyes of those who hurt you. This is how childhood emotional neglect becomes adult emotional dysfunction and confusion. When I look back now, I can see the little girl who tried so hard to belong. I can see the little girl who wanted to be loved deeply. I can see the little girl who thought she needed to change her body to be accepted. I can see the little girl who believed her worth depended on her performance. But the trauma-informed girl inside of me now understands something powerful. I was not too much. I was not unworthy. I was not the cause of the dysfunction around me. I was a child trying to survive in an environment that did not know how to nurture me. And now, as an adult in recovery, I can give myself the love, compassion, and affirmation I never received back then. This is why I created the bottleneck breakthrough method. Step number 2 is releasing the backlog. This is where you begin releasing the old tapes that were spoken over you. These tapes are the messages that came from childhood dysfunction. Now, here's the practice. Speak these words aloud and then write them down in your journal. I release the shame that was placed on me. I release the beliefs that were spoken in pain. I release the identity that was not mine to carry. I release the responsibility for the adults who struggled around me. I release the need to shrink. When you release the backlog, you allow new truth to enter. You make room for a new identity. You make room for something beyond survival. Our spiritual reflection for today says, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. That means you are worthy. You are worth. And your worth was not established before anyone had an opinion of you. It was. Your worth was established before anyone had an opinion of you. Your identity comes from God, not from family dysfunction or childhood shame. God restores, God rebuilds, God renames, and God rewires the story that shamed tried to tell you. You are not who they say you are. You are who God created you to be. If this episode speaks to the weight you carried in childhood, I want to invite you into level number 1 of the trauma recovery course. Level 1 helps us understand how childhood experiences shaped your emotional world. It gives you tools to rebuild identity, confidence, and your sense of self-worth. It teaches you how to break generational patterns and reclaim your voice. If you are ready to begin understanding your story more deeply, level 1 is your safe first step. We are recovering one breath at a time. Give yourself grace and stay fearless. Bye for now. It's time to buckle up. No more suffering in silence. Our Power Pack journey to recovery and realignment starts now. Remember, you were collateral damage on someone else's warpath. Trauma is not your fault. Recovery, however, is your responsibility. I'm your host, wellness coach Liz Blanding, and this is the Get Trauma Informed podcast.